Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. I still find it sort of odd that there are people out there that might take an interest in the reading that I do, but I appreciate it. So this year has sort of fallen apart for me a little bit. Early in the year I fell apart after I tried to read Les Miserables by Victor Hugo and couldn't stand it. And then more recently, just with all of the anxiety pertaining to the election. Before voting day and after, I have kind of slowed down. And I've decided to take stock. I have not done any reading now for at least 3 weeks. I've decided to take stock and set up some goals for myself for the remainder of the year. I used to work in social services, and one of the laws of goal setting is do not make them too unreachable. You want to have goals that you can succeed in. I'm not totally sure that I can even in this. I've set, I think, 4 books for myself to finish before the end of the year. So 3 which I would like to cover before Christmas. One of those is China's Cosmopolitan Empire. I read the 2 previous books in this series by Mark Edward Lewis earlier in this year, so those 2. And I would like to just finish the trilogy. There are 3 further books in the Harvard series of Imperial China that I might like to tackle next year. They are by different authors, but Mark Edward Lewis covered the first 3. So I would like to at least finish that trilogy in this year. I recently finished reading The History of the United States by Henry Adams, and it just so happened I found this at the charity shop, a book by Garry about Henry Adams and his history. And it's a bit, well, it's about 400 pages. It should be doable. I've read a couple of things by Garry. I'm not in love with his style because it seems so plodding and ponderous. But I would like to get a more current opinion about Henry Adams. And so the serendipity of finding this in the shop just makes me want to get it in before the end of the year. Next year, I plan to read Francis Parkman's history of pre-USA continental America. So that's the second that I would like to do. Thirdly, I would like to read The Literary Mind and the Carving of Dragons, and I think I would take it from the beginning. I read it to page 176, I think, and then Donald Trump got elected 8 years ago to the presidency. I forgot about the book. I put it aside, just never got back to it. So I think I would need to start from the top again, and I think it would be a good accomplishment to signify that I want to keep my life on track in spite of all the chaos which is scheduled to be coming as soon as he resumes that office. Or is it just as soon as he resumes that office? I guess that makes sense of itself. We don't need the 2 re's. Re doesn't make a lot of sense. And then lastly, if I've managed to finish those by Christmas, as my post-Christmas read, I would like to read Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Every year for the last 2, and this will be the 3rd, I have finished the year with a book by Mark Twain. And so I would like to, this has been on my list for a long time, and I'm not sure which edition I will use. I have yet another one somewhere. But being an American, I think having some knowledge of this book is real useful. A lot of people are reading a retelling of Huckleberry Finn, and that would open me up to reading that popular retelling, although everybody has loved that book so much that I may not jump on the bandwagon for that. But that's what I hope to do for the rest of this year. That's not to say I couldn't stick something else in there, but trying to at least finish these 4 books would make me feel a good sense of accomplishment and a good sense of wrapping up the year. I don't want to leave any dangling participles, so to speak. So I thought that I would just come on briefly to chat about that. If you have any thoughts, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for stopping by my channel and for taking an interest such as that may be.